Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Jack from Team Empire, and yesterday, JC, Lupe, and I were playing at Bushiroad Summerfest 2025, and we actually managed to get third place. We got our top format and our Taizo generator. JC was seat A, he was playing Bavsargra. Lupe was playing Blangdmire. You can check out both of their deck profiles in the channel too if you're interested. I was seat B, I played Vyrgilla. So I was borrowing JC's list. Vyrgilla is obviously a new deck that I think was in the list. This isn't the first time Vyrgilla is legal, right? Or is it?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Okay, it's the first time Vyrgilla is legal for an event. Obviously the new form, Off Nights, is what made this deck become top tier. So I'm gonna go over my rounds, I'm gonna go over the deck. I'm gonna be a little more specific with it because it is new. There are some newer cards here. So first of all, I also wanted to point out that we all played Bavsargra sleeves with the same Dragon Empire ride deck sleeves, thanks to JC. And so it threw off a lot of the team because they were like, wait, what's going on here? Anyways, going back to the actual deck, I play the Vyrgilla ride line. So for those of you that might not know, most Varga players play this. His skill is that when ride from ride deck soul blast 1 instead of discarding, his skill is usually top 7 when something rides on him for a grade 2 card. But if you ride Vyrgilla, you can search your entire deck. And I'll tell you the target that I usually search for. Vyrgilla, you never want to stay on him because you want to go into your new superior ride. But his first skill you use all the time, which is Energy Blast 3. You bind one of your opponent's rear guards, and then you choose a grade 2 from your drop and call it, which will usually be Azurwar. That's a ride line, very standard for Vyrgilla. Moving on to grade 3s. We play 6 Vyrgilla. So 4 Off Nights, 2 Persona Ride. So play 2 Persona Ride because I found that 3 tended to be a little bricky. The new form, Off Nights, is the one that you want to have as many copies of in your hand as possible because this is basically your Vanguard and you never want to stay on OG Vyrgilla since you'll lose. So he rewrites by binding the original Vanguard and then rewrites on him, and then he searches for a Galaxian and a ultimate skill, which is your order, from deck or drop. Very strong. And then he gives himself red text, which is when he attacks. CB1, stand your front row rear guards, and he picks up +1 drive. So yeah, this is basically your main Vanguard. You want to have as many of this as possible. And he's so good that most of the time in the tournament, I wanted to go second. Thankfully, I lost a die roll, so my opponents made a decision for me. Okay, let's go over the 2 main cards you're going to search always off Nights. Azurwar, Fanvade, sorry. Fanvade is a Galaxian. When placed, soul blast 1. If the opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, it gives himself and your Azurwar, which is your main attacker, plus 10k. And then he's a counter charger that goes to soul and draws a card during end phase, as long as you played an ultimate skill. This is the only one we have so far. We will be getting another one in the start deck that's coming out in September. But so far, this one's really good too. It's counter blast 1, check top 5, call 1, and then your Vanguard gets red text where it gets 3k for every normal unit on field and in drop. So very strong cards. The fact that you can search these from deck and drop just makes both of them very strong. Next up, grade 2s. The main attacker is Azurwar. He's just a 15k attacker, 15k shield. Very strong. This deck has so much extra shield for no reason, and he's the reason because of it. Next up, 2 copies of Variance Ray. Variance Ray is your new promo, or I should say new. He was pretty old, but his skill activates from drop, where you can bind him. He gives your Azurwar extra shield and extra power, and then he can't be chosen by card effects, which actually mattered in the Blangdmire matchup a lot. But usually I faced Bavs, so the protection from targeting meant nothing. I mainly saved this for my opponent was at 4 or 5. And then powering up Azurwar even more, just to make sure I can try and get that kill. Oh, and he also has extra shield. 1 ace unit. The ace unit I actually didn't use too much, besides just early game, to mainly proc my grade 2 of my ride lines extra crit. but he's really cool for like pairing him up with a Shenri. He can be like a 28k attacker, and he also draws a card. So on place, draw a card, very nice. Then I played one copy of the Energy Cycler, just because if you saw it early game, it's great because you draw more cards. Never used the second skill at all, just mainly used him for guard in that early game. We played our Vyrgilla's piece, which is Protection Twin Cast. Main reason, this is actually searchable off your grade 2, because he just says grade 2 card. He doesn't say grade 2 unit or grade 2 without Vyrgilla's piece. So you can search this out. I didn't. I mostly searched out Azurwar, but this is very nice to have, especially if I like healed it off of like getting a heal on my triple drive. And then basically the other Vyrgilla's piece for Dragon Empire is Defensing Roar. Really good card because there were times where I used Azurwar and I used the promo Variance Ray, and I targeted it, so it's now a 20k interceptor. Intercepted with it, used Defensing Roar, made it a 30k shield, and then I bounced a 15k shield back into my hand. So yeah, Defensing Roar is broken. Really good card. Grade 1s, we have the new one from set 8, which is Nimrim, or Nimin? Yeah, I guess that's right. One place in Rigid Circle. It's CB1. Check top 7 for a grade 3 Raider card. And if you didn't find one, you counter charge. So this is how you find your Alf Knights. And there were many times where I did not have an Alf Knights, but she provided me with one. Insanely good card. And then she's also a 13k booster or attacker. 4 copies of Shenri. This is what made our early game so annoying for our opponent, because there were times where I just like opened 2 of this or even 3 of this. So I just dropped a couple of them on turn 1 and then just bum rushed my opponent for the win. Shenri's really fucking good. Next up, we played 2 copies of Cosmore. Cosmore, it's energy charger as long as it boosts Azurwar, and when Azurwar restands, they restand. So there were times that I had 2 of these, and regardless of whether or not it's in the same column as Azurwar, as long as he stands, they'll both stand. So not only will it be 5 attacks off Alf Knights, it'll be 5 attacks with boosters. So really good. I think GC mentioned this in his deck profile. It only gets better once we get Flare Cosmore from the start deck. Next up, 4 regular PGs. The reason I didn't play Elementaria was because there wasn't really a deck in the meta that I was so scared of that required you to use Elementaria. Like there wasn't Odium that picks up triple drive, or like grade 4 Kyrie or anything like that. And we're already playing 2 Blitz Orders. So I didn't want to have that awkward situation where I have only this as my PG and then these, and I can't use either of them. 4 PGs was enough. Or 4 regular PGs was enough, I should say. Moving on to triggers, we had 8 crit, because crits are how you win games. 3 draw, because you actually, with all the extra shield cards you have in this deck, and your need to find Alf Knights, draws are just better in my opinion, and a lot of Vyrgilla players' opinions. In fact, this is more of JC's suggestion than anything else. Then 4 regular heals. Again, for this format, you can go either or with the counter heals, because Bavs and Blang both pick up a crit. They also have restanders. Probably the restander one, in my opinion, is better, since they have restanders, and then Vyrgilla is also coming into the meta, and he restands 2 things. So there's more instances for you to use the restander counter heal. And then Drag Beta, because Drag Beta is broken. It's less broken in this deck because if you restand your Alf Knights, his CB1 pick up a drive and then restand 2 is only once per turn, and he only has the drive till end of battle. So they actually balanced it. That's the deck. We're gonna go over my matchups. Round 1, I faced Bavsargra. He didn't really know what Vyrgilla did, which actually a few of my opponents didn't know what Vyrgilla did, so that gave me the advantage. He healed on his grade 2 turn, which means he couldn't use his Rideline CB1, and I was going second, so I just passed turn, and then his grade 3 turn was nothing. And then round 2, faced off against Levidros. I lost that one. Thankfully, my 2 teammates won. The reason why is because I ran out of Alf Knights, and that's mainly how you're going to lose with Vyrgilla, is just not having Elf Knights anymore. Third round, I faced another Bavsargra. That game was a complete slaughter on my part because I opened 3 Shenri, I opened 2 Variance Ray, and the Ace unit. So I not only just had a Shenri to drop on turn 1, make my Vanguard 23, hit a crit on the early game, so put him to 2. Next turn, called Variance Ray, called Ace unit, called 2 more Shenri, used my grade 2 in the Ride Line skill to give my Vanguard a crit. So I just completely just destroyed him, put him to 5 immediately. His grade 3 turn wasn't that good, honestly. And then I just rode up and then won. Round 4 was against another Bavs. Shout out to Sarah. I don't remember her team name, but her team was super cool. Super cool opponents. She was playing Bavs also. I actually went second because Bavs, in my opinion, it's better for Vyrgilla to go second against it because your grade 3 turn going first isn't good. It's just 4 attack deck with no additional drives or crits or anything. And Bavsargra going first only gets the crit. She doesn't get the extra drive check. She doesn't get the restands. So that gave me a ton of advantage, and I just went to Elf Knights. And once again, she didn't know what Vyrgilla did. So she called Trick Moon, and off of my grade 3 skill, I just found it. But yeah, super cool opponent. Round 5 was against Team Dragon T. Shout out to them. I faced off against Blangdmire. What's funny is I faced 2 Blangdmires in the tournament, and those are the only 2 games where I actually saw Overtrigger. So Overtrigger on my first Elf Knights, which means I just had 5 drive checks. Even then, he almost like cleared my entire hand because he had Vadrox, he Divine Skilled. I had to drop like everything. But that's where Variance Ray came in. Variance Ray was my GOAT in this round because he made my Azurwar like a 20k. I think I used 2 of them that game, so it made him a 25k interceptor. Next up, round 6 was the round. I lost that round. It was against Alex from Joe's team. Shout out to them. He just had he went first. He had so much advantage. He was playing Licia Fail. So not only did he get to go first, do triple drive, put me in kind of a bad situation, he also, on Persona Ride turn, got to use Abelina and actually stacked all triggers on that before we activated Divine Skill, which means that Abelina and Licia Veil had a crit. Managed to survive the Divine Skill turn, barely, but it just, I don't know, it wasn't, I just couldn't stabilize after that, and he just won. Then round 7, I lost that one against Bat, which, to be honest, I don't like Bat. Blangdmire, not a very fun deck to fight, but my opponent, Bailey, super cool guy. I'm not gonna, demonize any players for playing a strong deck. Doesn't mean I have to like the deck, but Bailey was a super cool opponent. He actually only got 1 turn off of Blangdmire, and then I called the Ace unit instead of using my grade 3 skill to call out Azurwar. And if I had called Azurwar, I would have survived for 1 turn longer. But the reason why I didn't win was because I did not have Elf Knights. So we made the top 8. First round of top 8, we actually got our run back against Alex and Joe's team. It was a very similar game. He went first, still did all of his triple drive stuff, still Persona Road, and did his Abelina Divine Skill restand shenanigans. The final turn, though, I had just enough to guard everything, but I was thinking I don't have an Elf Knights, and there's only 1 left in deck, so if I don't see it, I'll lose the game guaranteed. I used the Guncycler, and then I drew off the Guncycler and Elf Knights. So that's how I was able to win on my next turn. Went into Elf Knights, did my whole combo, checked the crit, GG's. Then round 4, I won that one, but the team lost. But it was against a Bat. So I had my run back against Bat, and I managed to actually open up well. I opened up with my 4 rear guards. So my grade 2 in the ride line was able to pick up his crit. So I pushed him all the way to 4, and I didn't even need to go into Elf Knights because I went first, and he damage denied me, but at that point it didn't matter. I had 28k column, 23k column, 13k. He couldn't guard, he had a handful of orders, checked the crit, GG's. He's also a super cool guy. His name is Nathan. Shout out to him. And then last round, playing for third, I faced Blangdmire, and it was a very similar situation. Shout out to Patrick, really cool guy. But I checked OT against him too, so that gave me so much advantage to deal with his divine skill. And we played all the way up until deck out. So yeah, so shout outs like the other deck profiles. Shout out to JC and Lupe for being great testing partners. They were actually helping me out like the whole time we were preparing. I didn't really know what to play. I was kind of stuck. I was deciding on Levy Dross, but my win record against Bobs was atrocious. But JC recommended I play Vyrgilla, so I got to practice that, and yeah, it was definitely the right decision. So thank you, JC, and thank you, Lupe, for always testing whenever we have a chance. Shout out to the rest of the Empire members, being just very supportive teammates. You know, they mean the world to me. And then shout out to Joe's team. Shout out to everyone in the San Antonio area. And yeah, it was just such a fun event. And again, this is the farthest we've ever gone. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.